Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back here with our friend, Christine Gosse. Exciting to have you here. There's so much to your work and what you do. And we have a guest today. Let me just have you introduce yourself today, please, to start. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. I'm Christine Gosse. I'm a physiotherapist, a Reiki master, and I'm the founder of Lavender Lane Wellness Center in Waterloo, Ontario. So we have healthcare and holistic energy practitioners, and all of our energy practitioners can practice online and do everything virtually. So we can treat anyone, anywhere.
Fantastic. And what is your website, just to establish that, if you don't mind?
www.lavenderlaneptw.ca.
Perfect. And we have a special guest here today. Would you mind introducing her?
Absolutely. This is Lynn Barrybo. She's an intuitive channel, an author, an oracle card reader, and an energy healer. She practices Ohana generational healing and quantum crystalline energy healing. And I think we've known each other probably for 4 or 5 years. We started to see each other at wellness fairs, and I did a few readings with her, and wow, they were right on, both on a personal level and on the business level. So she's been really, really important to me, not only as a friend, but as an intuitive guide to the business.
Well, welcome, Lynn. Say hello and introduce yourself. Wow, beautiful introduction, though, by you, Christine. But tell us a little bit more about what you do, Lynn.
Yes, hello. So very thrilled and happy to be here and being part of this podcast. And thank you so much, Christine, for this beautiful introduction. And so as Christine said, I work at Lavender Lane as well. And I'm an intuitive channeler. And an intuitive channeler is somebody who basically listens to spirit. So I'm kind of the radio, and the client is in front of me, and I kind of dial in to the right frequency to the spirit guides who come for that client to give them insight and shared wisdom into what's going on in their life at this point in time, and anything else that spirit wants to share. So it's very exciting. I'm also an author. My first book is How to Raise Your Children with Wisdom and Awareness.
Aww.
And it's a beautiful channeled book. I didn't know I could channel. I only started to channel about 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I've always been an intuitive. My first vision kind of came when I was 6 years old. And I kind of woke up and I saw this silhouette at the bottom of my bed. And I wasn't afraid or anything. I just kind of said, like, I didn't say anything. I just looked and I was like, okay. And I went back to bed, back to sleep. And so as I grew and, did everything that we do in life, over time, I did develop this connection and this beautiful relationship with spirit. And it is a relationship of trust that whatever I hear is what I speak. And my book, I didn't know I could write. It was never something that I had planned to do, to be writing books. And I kept getting messages that you are writing a book. And at some point I said, okay, what am I writing about? Like, stop telling me to write a book. Like, tell me, what am I writing about? Because it's like, I don't know. And so they said about children and being, I was a teacher, an elementary school teacher for, 32 years, and I retired. And so I know children. I have 2 daughters of my own. And so I thought, okay, I can work with children as a theme. And so the book is about my experiences in raising my children. And then spirit would come in and give their wisdom and their way of seeing what the children, how to raise your children. So it is a book for parents, but is also a book for anybody who loves and is in contact with children.
Well, I have a 5 and 7-year-old. How old are your kids?
Oh, they're now 25 and 27.
Oh, wow.
And
wonderful.
Just beautiful beings.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that. So now the connection between the two of you, how did you start working with Christine?
we always ended up at fairs, holistic fairs, and we would always end up kind of next to each other, really not too far. And I loved Christine's displays, her display and whatever she brought in, the energy that she had. And I thought, okay, I need to meet this woman and just go and have a chat. And then we chatted, and then I bought some things from her table. She came for a few readings, and then she came for more readings. And then she was looking for practitioners at her beautiful center of Lavender Lane. And so I went and had an interview, and now I work there. So it's lovely.
Great.
And we're so
Beautiful
happy
place.
to have you, Lynn.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you.
Great.
I think Spirit brought us together.
I
well,
am
isn't
sure.
that how it works? The
Totally.
higher power, right?
Absolutely.
Put the right people on your way.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Great.
There are no coincidences when it comes to this stuff.
And what else do you have in store for us today? What do you want our listeners and viewers, to know about you at Lavender Lane, and of course all the services, because there's just so many. So I don't know your area of focus for the show today. I want to make sure we're getting to everything, please.
Sure. So our healthcare is in person in Waterloo, Ontario. Physiotherapy, chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, manual osteopathic practitioner, and then our holistic we can do anywhere, either in person or online. It's through our secure Jane app, and you can book right off our website. Go into online booking, take a look at all of our practitioners, and see who resonates with your heart. And that's the person I need to see. And we really want to look at the whole aspects of health, mind, body, and spirit. But today, I have a special surprise for you. I want my lovely Lynn here is going to do a 1-card reading for us.
Oh, great.
So an oracle card reading.
So normally when I do oracle card readings, the first thing I do is when the client comes in, I kind of wait and welcome them to the table, and I don't ask any questions, because I think that when you start asking questions, you get different take on what the person's reality is.
Mhm.
And it's spirit basically who runs the show through me, in terms of what I'm saying and what the cards are saying to the person. So I usually just welcome them and have them sitting, and then I'm drawn to a certain deck. I tend to have multiple decks in my house, and the deck today that called me is Kyle Gray, the Angel Guide Oracle deck. And that is the deck that I'm going to use today. And normally when I work with a client, we'll look at the past, the present, the near future, and the future. But today we're doing just a 1-card reading. So I always start by centering myself, and then I will shuffle the cards. And I'm asking for the card to guide us today for our highest good. And regardless of when you will listen to this podcast, this card should fit into what you need to hear at that time. Okay. Sometimes spirit is funny, and they'll ask me to shuffle and shuffle and shuffle the cards until they're ready to pull one out.
Makes sense. All right.
And sometimes we have jumper cards. Okay. Oh, nice. So I'll describe the card, but the card that I have today is transformation.
Okay.
And then what I do is I look at the pictures and I listen to what spirit is saying. And in looking at the picture, I see that we are at a point in time in our lives where we are transforming. And we are transforming. We have been transforming for a while now and trying to really turn this huge corner in our lives and in spirit life, and also in the world. We're just turning this huge corner. We've been turning this corner pretty much since the fall. And we're finally arriving at the end of this major corner where we are turning into a new lane. And it's a new lane of opportunities for people, a new lane of ways of looking at life in a different way. And it's transforming our surroundings and
Mhm.
transforming our environments, but is also transforming us from within. And this is a card that's very beautiful. It has a lot of yellow. It has a person who has their arms outstretched to the world and just welcoming the new energies, the new possibilities, the new people in our life as well. And the heart center is illuminated in yellow and this very pure golden light. And so it is because we have been reflecting on ourselves and really kind of doing um, an assessment of who we are and where we are going, and also as well what we want to see more of in our own life, but in the world
Mhm.
as well, in our community. And it's through this transformation of our own self, of our reconnecting to our soul, that we become this larger than life person in terms of the energies that we bring to the to the forefront. And that this is a beautiful energy that we will share with others, so
Wow.
that we are not only transforming ourselves, but we're transforming what we bring to the world and the energies around us and the new people that we will meet. Because when we transform, we are guided towards change, and we're guided towards meeting of new people who are put in our path by spirit or by source or by whatever you believe in, um, to guide us to move forward in this new, um, beautiful, powerful, but yet very, very gentle energy that we bring forth. And that is the card for today. And it is a transformation card. So I hope this helps you on your journey and turning this lovely corner. So that's
Wow. 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 So
what I
anyone
do.
listening today, that is a transformation card, right? Clearly
Correct.
talking about transformation. There's so much transformation in the life in the world right now. I mean, unfortunately, look what's going on with the war. We've been through COVID. Is that something that, you've pulled a card on before and spirit has helped you reflect upon the time that we're in currently with our state of mind and in the world itself?
I think that it's kind of a reflection of turning
That's
this
the word,
big
reflection.
corner, right? That what is going on in the world is making us reflect as to what's going on in our own world.
Mm-hmm.
And coming through 2 years of pandemic and really having this opportunity to spend time within ourselves through this pandemic, where we weren't, so as social as we normally would have been, and things really changed for us. I think for a lot of us, things actually slowed down. And once we got past this point of being annoyed that it was slowing down and our world was changing, we kind of took this as an opportunity to really reflect on, our life, what had brought us this far, and then reassessing, okay, like, what do I like in my world? What do I want more of? And I think in doing that, that is bringing more positivity and more gentleness and more caring.
Yeah.
And so in looking at what the events, the traumatic events of our world right now, we can certainly look at that and feel a lot of empathy, but we can also try and bring some light and some peace and some positive thinking to change what is going on. And if more of us do that, there will be a more positive outcome in that.
I totally agree with you, Lynn. Like, I've been sending Reiki and surrounding everyone who's in peril right now with white light and Archangel Michael and all the legions of angels to protect them. And I think humanity is at a really big turning point. Where do we want to go? Do we want to be authoritarian and no freedom, or do we want to be unified, working towards freedom together? And there's a very big light versus dark component right now. which I think a lot of people are struggling with.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and personal transformation is where we all start to make differences in the outer world. If we change our inner world, then every interaction we have ripples out kindness and love and healing to others. And it just ripples out and becomes a gigantic effect if we can all get on a similar thought process and page, right? So, and that's really what we want to work towards through Lavender Lane and all of our beautiful energy healers, is to try to get people past their personal blocks and move onward and upward.
Beautifully said. Wow. Wow. And you've been doing this for how long now, Christine? You've had the company for?
I've had the company's been here for 4 years now.
Mhm.
And we've been doing wellness fairs for 5. I've been a Reiki master for 6 years and a physiotherapist for 23 now.
Wow. And, in society, you got to just stop and take a look at sometimes like what's going on in our world and our life. But energy healing could really help so many people, right? I mean, it can help the good, the bad. It can help, just my heart goes out to all these Ukrainians that are fleeing their country, and even the Russians that some of them don't even know what's going on. And they're not, just because their leader may not be the best person, it doesn't mean, and there's empathy for everyone. And just, can energy healing, help someone like who is evil at heart or has bad intentions? Like, I'm just going to bring up, for example, like Putin. I mean, like, is there a way that we could heal him and we could forgive? I believe in forgiveness, but like, is there something that energy healers can do and all come together to try to help?
Honestly, I've actually been sending him compassion, as hard as it is.
Good, thank you. I'm glad. I hope it wasn't like off topic.
I
I didn't
really
want you
think
to.
there must be something in his background
Pets.
that has caused this split or break in the personality or whatever or from reality or whatever it is right now. I'm not quite sure how he's got down this path. And really, the path forward, I don't see one for him really that's going to be a positive outcome for him personally or professionally.
Yeah.
Like, I think his career is kind of done. But I'm like been sending compassion to that, because I think if we're sending hate and fear and anger, you're feeding him.
Wow.
From a purely energetic standpoint.
Digress there. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay.
I had to ask, but I'm glad you're thinking about that too. Yeah. Okay, good.
And this kind of comes to Ohana generational healing, for example, where you look into your family tree and you see the patterns and the traumas that have come through and are being passed on through the DNA. And by working on these blocks, working on your DNA through this healing energy, you can actually change the patterns for who you are at this time in your life, but also all generation before and a generation after. Yeah. So in sending this compassion to anybody who is in that state of not being the most positive person for the world, I think that there's definitely a change that can occur.
Got it. Well, thank you. What else did you want to share, Christine and Lynn?
And it's also like, you're not condoning what they're doing if it's clearly not in the best intentions of all. Mm-hmm. But it's looking at the poor broken human and trying to send any positive energy there to move him back to where he goes, whoa, okay, let's regroup. There's so much trauma that is passed down. And I was thinking about that this morning, Lynn, about the children of Ukraine right now. There's going to be so much trauma to heal there, so that they don't send it forward into their children and perpetuate these negative patterns. So when you do an Ohana treatment, Lynn, what kinds of things do you look at?
To me, I love history. And so in looking at the client's history in terms of we're looking at the family trees. So what has happened, and it's through an interview of just looking at the different patterns, who died tragically, had divorces, if there were addictions in the family. And then once we've kind of looked at that, I ask spirit, okay, what is the main topic, the main trauma, the main healing part that needs to be tended to? And that's what we work on. And I had a friend who had a lot of anxiety traveling anywhere. She just couldn't do it. And she goes, Lynn, my life is wonderful. There is no explanation as to why this is occurring. And I said, oh, let's do an ohana. And then looking at her family tree and her family patterns, we saw that a lot of her grandparents, parents in her family had gone through war. And there were witness to bombings and all that, and bomb shelters. And so we kind of cleared that, and now she can travel. So it's just, it's wonderful. If you're willing to do the work and trust the person, your practitioner, then you have results and you can move forward, or at least have a more positive outcome to your day-to-day life.
Perfect. Beautifully said. And that's why you guys are here. You're part of healing and healing so many. And thank you. It's good to know that we all could be helped and healed in a way. And not everybody is familiar with energy healing. If you're just tuning in, let's just remind them of the website, Christine, if you don't mind, and how they can reach out to you.
Yes, Lavender Lane, ptw.ca. Go into, take a look at all of our practitioners and all of our modalities. We've got Reiki, crystal healing, intuitive channeling, oracle card reading, ohana generational healing, emotional freedom technique, nutrition, like you name it, we have it. And we can look at every aspect of your being, mind, body, and spirit, and start to move things forward one step at a time. And we often work as a team to look at different components of a person's health. And, because you might get so far and then hit a plateau and you can't get any further. And then it just takes another set of skills to clear that block, and away we go again.
Got it. Great.
But our goal is to make it easier for you to be the best person you can be. And that's just going to make things so much more positive in the world as a whole.
And that's what you're here to do and help. What other services did you want to discuss today? What other ways you're helping people out there? Sure.
We're working on courses for spirituality. I teach Reiki in person at the moment. Our restrictions have just dropped significantly, so I think we can start to ease back into things. We're in the midst of planning kind of like an emotional spa day. So we're still working on that. I think it's going to be either April or May, the way,
yeah,
because it's kind of hard to get people organized sometimes. So we just want to look at creative ways that people can try new things. And we're totally welcome to questions. Just contact me through the website, and we can answer your questions, and I can direct you to the healer who has the most similar story, really, because we have all used our modalities on ourselves to heal ourselves.
Can you do Reiki on yourself? Can you?
That's a must.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, every day.
Really?
Yeah, I personally use Reiki every day, every day in every
way. Yes.
Every way, like everything. Yeah, so it can be like, I often use it for protection and grounding and shielding. But most energy work can be used in that way, and to balance the chakras, balance the mind, body, and spirit, so that we are more whole and grounded and can go through all these waves of transformation and flow with it and come out on the better side as a better person.
So transformation is the topic of the day because you pulled the card. Got it.
And just saying that spirit is always there to help us. We just have to ask, because it's our free will to ask. And in asking, we get assistance from our spirit guides, from the spirit world, from people who have crossed over, people in our lives, people who accompany us throughout the daily grind and all the different beautiful things that we go through, and the more difficult and challenging ones as well.
And what do you see ahead? Just, you pulled a card before transformation. Is there anything else that's coming to you that you'd want to share with the audience today?
If I may, I'm currently putting together my second and third book, and they will be in the Hay House catalog,
Great.
which is really, really exciting to have this huge company of healing and so many amazing people that I follow, that my books will be placed among their books. And that's just, I don't know, it's just so exciting and such a treat. And I'm sure my book is for sale at Lavender Lane, and I'm pretty sure the other ones will be for sale as well at Lavender Lane. So
You bet they will.
looking
Perfect.
forward to that.
Yes, me too.
Thank you for all of your support, Christine. It's a wonderful place to work at, because you always feel that you can approach Christine and she can offer solutions to you and really help you grow your own business and your own skills in whatever you offer. So come work with us. It's a
Great.
beautiful place to be.
Thank you, Lynn. And yes, we're always open to adding more healthcare and holistic practitioners. Just contact me through the website. If you're an energy worker or holistic practitioner, life coach, you can work online with us. And we can treat and reach more and more people. And that's really what we want to do here. We want to help the most people we can, as efficiently as possible, and really work collaboratively. We don't compete here.
Yeah.
That's not the energy we want. And we're a conscious corporation. We want to move everybody forward.
Oh, we like that. Teamwork makes the dream work, as we say. And 2 more minutes left on the clock. What other things do you want to share before we have to go? Just want to make sure you're getting everything in.
I'm pleased to announce that Vanessa Soleil, our fabulous massage therapist, has now completed her prenatal certification. So now she can treat ladies who are pregnant and postnatal, and in a safe and really supportive manner. Nancy Bruce, our emotional freedom technique practitioner, emotional weight loss coach. She is extraordinary. She has just finished her immune emotional freedom technique certification. So she has been using those protocols on her son, who actually has autism, and has seen dramatic changes in his behavior and in his coping style and his ability to socialize as well. So she's going to be expanding her services in the next few weeks as well. And we're always open to new services, new ways of doing things. So we're open to any suggestions you may have.
Great. And one more time, remind us how we can contact you.
Go to lavenderlaneptw.ca and check out our website. We're also on Facebook, Lavender Lane Wellness Center, Instagram, and YouTube.
Great. And Lynn, thank you for being here as well with us today. Thank you for
Thank you so
pulling that
much.
card. Got us all thinking about transformation and sending love, peace, and energy and kindness to those out there. Everyone is entitled to that. And just pray for, people to wake up and listen and maybe, change a little bit. It couldn't be a bad thing. But thank you for helping us and for, you're so sweet to bring up your other, the people that work with you, Christine. Very nice. Thank you. Have a great day, ladies.
Thank you,
and we'll be
Jill.
talking soon. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.